foot right now, and I'm going to fix that.
I thought you were asking me, and I was like, God, fine. Yes.
Wow, Emma.
Posture, I guess.
His head was cut off.
Stop harassing our guests about their posture.
No, that's fine. I need reminders of my posture. I'm old now.
Oh. Alrighty. Audio syncing in 3, 2, 1. You
Nice.
did it! Yeah, you did it!
That was a good one. First try.
don't.
First try.
There are a lot of people who don't. There are people who've been on this channel for a year who don't. Hello and welcome to another episode of Rolling with Reddit. We are joined here with a special guest. This is Shawn Banerjee. Please tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Shawn Banerjee. My pronouns are they, them. I work in the gaming industry, mostly as a consultant for editorial and sensitivity, and then I also do like actual plays and charity streams, and anytime anybody asks me my opinion, I give that. So that's kind of what I do.
Hell yeah. So get in the comments.
Yeah, comments. Let's go.
Opinions now.
I will give my own opinions and fully fabricated ones.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Now, because you are our guest, you do get to pick the first story that we read out of the two options based off of the author's name,
No pressure.
but only based on the author's name.
I'm never going to be able to choose.
So the first option is Keeper 4 Eva, EVA, and the second option is Sonic Cop 99.
Ooh.
Those are some good ones. Good
Yeah,
options.
that is. I mean, fuck the police, so let's go with Keeper for Eva.
Keeper for Eva.
I assume this is a Wally fan.
Wally.
That must be what it is.
Yeah, right? What else could it be?
Right.
Alrighty. So this one is titled That's Just How It Was Back Then. Cool. Or alternate title that they put at the top, Not Being Racist is Ruining My Immersion.
Oh.
They quote another thread here on Reddit, one that says, what are some catchphrases bad players and the DMs use other than it's what my character would do? So they're referencing that, and they say, this reminded me of an early pandemic horror story. We were about 6 months into it, and our regular GM needed a break from being on Zoom due to a very busy work schedule. I offered to run a Call of Cthulhu mini-campaign in the interim. Since we were down a player, one of the group brought in Problem, spoiler alert, and that's just what they're going to call him, is Problem.
Oh, just
Yeah,
problem.
that's fair.
Just
that's
Problem.
fair.
And another player dropped due to a new baby, so I brought in Smuggler. I'm starting to wonder if these names have things to do with, like, them as people, but
If this is a bit of foreshadowing somehow.
maybe.
Mayhaps.
A distant friend who I reconnected with thanks to lockdown. Second spoiler, Smuggler is African American. All seemed great. I had played with Problem before, and he was a decent player. Good role player, a little over the top, and a bit with the main character syndrome, but nothing I couldn't handle. Session 0 was great, everyone seemed to click, and Smuggler had a great character concept. His grandfather smuggled escaped slaves via sea, then made his family fortune gun running during the Civil War. His grandfather was no longer in public life and was rumored to own a slew of rum runners off the coast of Arkham. And despite being nearly 100 years old, he didn't look a day over 50. That's interesting.
Because he was in
That's
L.
excellent. This is excellent backstory for Call of Cthulhu stuff.
It is.
Call of Cthulhu is very urban-esque setting, with a little bit of
Eldritch mysticism.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are there still like other what do you call it?
Like
Races
elves and
and-
dwarves and
Yeah,
stuff.
races. Yeah.
Not normally, I think, in the standard setting, because the standard setting is just kind of like the world we live in
Yes.
with some H.P. Lovecraft, right?
Yeah.
So that's an excellent backstory for Call of Cthulhu. If I got that as a GM, I'd be so happy. I'd be like, great.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's nearly 100 but doesn't look a day over 50. That
Yeah.
gives me Eldritch Invocation kind of levels of, like, what's going on there. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
After session 0, Problem Player called me to ask if Smuggler's character was going to be, well, you know. No, I don't know. Enlighten me. His concern was that as Smuggler's character is also black, it would make a game extremely difficult given the racism in the 1920s, and they wouldn't be able to investigate anything as a group. In addition, Smugglers had higher challenge ratings or credit ratings in COC. That's a skill that combines your income, social status, and influence. And there's quote-unquote no way a person of color would have that higher rating.
Huh. Okay, all right.
They say sigh. Sadly, due to my gaming friendship with Smuggler, this wasn't the first time I've had this discussion. Not the first time you've had. Okay, you should reconsider.
Due to their gaming relationship with
friendship.
Smuggler.
Smuggler is the.
It's the African American. Is the black guy.
Yes.
So.
Oh yes. Okay.
Okay. So they've had to deal with other racists because they're friends with the black person.
I see.
Got
rough.
it. Hey, that's probably a good sign for our op.
For OP. Yeah. OP. Yeah.
OP. Sorry.
For our op.
He's not our other thing now.
No.
I'm so old. Oh no.
I explained that we are playing a fantasy game. This means we as players get to make the game what we want of it. As the keeper, I'm choosing not to explore racism as a thematic element in this campaign. We're here to stop cosmic horrors, not deal with everyday horrors, especially one Smuggler already knows all too well. Dude could not let it go. There's a period after every word there.
I heard it.
This turned into an hour-plus phone call while I was making dinner, where he very earnestly and diligently needed to explain racism to me.
No.
What a good friend. What a good friend. You know, if you feel like your friend really is uneducated or ignorant in some way, it's good to try to
Yeah.
shut up, problem.
History is important, but not in a fictional game.
I can't imagine what the explanation of racism was.
Right.
That was trying to get to the conclusion of, so we have to include it in our game.
Yeah, so we have to make sure Smuggler has a shitty time at this table,
or plays a white guy, I guess.
Yeah, what is the alternative? What do they want here? What's the solution that they want? Now, this dude is a West Coast progressive as can be, and yet he could not get unstuck and decouple what the 1920s were really like in a silly game we all wanted to play. I kept coming back to my argument that both things can be true. The historical era was shitty for anyone not white and rich, and we can play a game that doesn't need to be historically accurate according to his views. It was insane how fixed he was on what's quote-unquote right, and how having a black character in Call of Cthulhu would make things harder for other investigators. It really soured my desire to run this game, so I decided to pivot and run an alien RPG mini-campaign instead.
I've heard tell of the old man voice.
The best part, for me at least, was that as far as I know, nobody else has ever heard about Problem's issues with Smuggler's character. And in game, Problem ended up playing the company man who died a horrible death at the hands of the other players. Sometimes the universe has a way of working itself out.
End of post. Are you happy you got the old man voice?
Yes.
Commenters, you're welcome. It's been a while.
We did it, America.
We won.
We solved it. Let's jump into some of these top comments here. So we have one here by Prismatic Leviathan. They always seem to use the most extreme examples of that's how it was. Yes, it was bad, but it wasn't a horrifying storm of bigotry 24/7, coast to coast. Hell, we had our first black governor in 1872.
Yeah.
It's true. That's definitely true.
Another person comes on to say, this is Ticket Prestigious 558. Multiple wealthy black business / landowners before the 1900s too, so having a high credit rating isn't as impossible as Problem made it out to be.
Yeah, I think Problem was certainly like being very reductive as to what the black experience is and was at the time period, and it's shitty. That's shitty of them. But also, if you don't want to include it in your game, then that's fine. Don't have fun. Games should be fun.
Yeah. But it's sad that they just had to completely pivot from that game because that character that Smuggler had sounded really fun.
I need to see it. I really do. I want them to come on to either something you do or something we do. Hit us up on Discord and go to we've linked down below. You can actually contact, you have your socials.
Yeah.
Down linked in the very top. We also have our Discord that you can join. Let us know if Smuggler wants to come on and do that anyway.
Yeah, for real. I'll run that game.
Sounds fun.
Alrighty, guys. On to the next story. This is by Sonic Cop 99.
It's good that there's 99
Is
of
the
them.
corner of the mic thing still in frame?
Listening?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but not really.
Okay.
There we go.
Thanks. Go ahead.
The title for this one reads, D&D player demands to purchase a child.
That is a normal thing. Lots of people do it every day.
I mean, technically, you're right.
Oh, God.
I mean, I was talking about like
the legal way.
the adoption industry.
I'm sorry.
But
Yes, yeah.
I was like, what methods do you know? And why?
As we've all seen the documentary Cop Rock from the early 1990s.
What?
well, Sonic Cop probably has.
I bet so. Alrighty, the story goes on to read. Last summer, me and my brother and I got bored, so we decided to play some D&D. Went to a game store, gathered some folks, and got them interested in my brother's campaign idea, and he became our DM. We are still playing this very same campaign, albeit with like half the players having been replaced by now. This particular incident happened near the beginning of the campaign. We as the party decided collectively to do a bunch of side quests in the wealthy major city called Venusia. Yes, it was based on Venice. In order to rack up some gold so we could buy some armor, weapons, and level up a bit before engaging with the main quest, which my brother, the DM, admitted would be very cutthroat and merciless. Once we had finished...
Nice warning.
Yes, it's a fair warning. I feel like if you're planning a very, grueling main quest line, like a grueling dungeon, for example, you should give your players an adequate heads up.
Yeah, for sure. If only so that everyone's on the same page as to what kind of fun we're here to have, right?
Yeah, whether it be more roleplay-esque or more, in this case, it seems combat-focused.
Yeah.
It says, once we had finished the dungeon crawl through a low-level Wyvern's Gold trove, we were now rolling in dough and we were ready to use it. So we had a filler session for us to RP in the city. Shopping episode. Yeah, you guys love that. Yeah. I say you guys, it's Emma and my other cast members who are probably not even watching this video.
I don't even like the shopping. Everyone else likes the shopping, and I'm just kind of there.
Shopping episode is my favorite whenever I GM or DM, because then I'm like, welcome to all the NPCs.
Yep.
Welcome to Matthew McConaughey, who's a four-armed Machamp, and he is the bartender in this bar.
I love
Fabulous.
that so much. God. So we had a filler session in the RP in the city, float around and learn things and go shopping. I remember buying this plate armor that was really badass looking, and ended up AI generating a concept art piece of my character wearing it. Bad, boo, bad OP. But then, they're probably going to watch this video.
We don't like AI.
Yeah, we don't like AI.
Listen to Baby No Money.
Yes. But then there was our party's rogue, who, for this part, decided to go to the nearest orphanage and told the caretaker, I'd like to buy one. No, it gets worse. I prefer females around the age of 10 to 12.
No.
Best age, developing but not too developed.
No.
Oh.
And make sure she's white or Japanese.
Oh.
X card.
X.
Emergency exit.
That is...
Release.
And I will say, I know it looks bad right now, guys. Bear with me. I read this one a little ahead of time. The DM handles this so well, and watch this carefully.
Okay, all right.
My brother just said, what? And then switched to the caretaker's voice and said,
Yeah, we don't sell the kids to weird travelers like yourself. You'd best be going on whatever dangerous, non-child-friendly mission you are undertaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the rogue said, with my family's wealth and all the gold I've accumulated traveling, I could probably buy this whole damn town. You could renovate this dump and actually feed these kids. My brother said, look bro, this ain't happening. She will call the guards if you don't leave. Rogue then got pissed off and said, fuck it, I stabbed the insolent B-word and take the kid myself. My brother then has town guards rush into the orphanage and confront him and say, last chance, you can leave now or probably get killed by the town's guard. So the rogue's player then just gave the DM a nasty look and said, ever heard of player agency? You're a shitty DM. And then he got up and walked out, and we never saw him again.
That
Good.
problem solved
Good.
itself.
It did.
That problem locked itself out your house.
Yeah.
I'm glad the DM was like, this ain't happening. You
Yeah.
escalated, I'm escalating.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between like player agency and like consequences.
Yeah.
Like you can't just do anything you want when there are rules in a society.
You can't just buy a 10 to 12-year-old little white Japanese girl.
Why so specific?
It's very concerning.
So I have a tendency when I'm playing games to adopt little orphan children.
Oh, that's different.
And then like set them up as
Yeah.
crime lords.
Yeah.
Um,
That's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Buying, like that's, and then it got real specific on what he was looking for, and that's with no further explanation. I don't know what explanation would have made that less weird, but no, I'm
No,
good. I'm good
yeah.
on all of that.
No.
And then he kept pushing it, and I would have, I think stepping out of the character interaction and being like, listen,
Yeah.
player, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Was definitely the right move, and I think at that point I would have just stopped engaging with what that character was trying to do. Like, this thing isn't happening in the world.
Anyway,
Like, it's
what
just
do you
not.
guys do?
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
can accept that or not, or you can leave. And I'm a little bit like, you can leave just for having this fucking idea.
Yes.
Yeah, period.
Explain
Yeah.
yourself if I like you that much, or get out.
Yeah, it sounds like the game master likely would have taken care of it after the session regardless.
Yeah.
It sounds like they put down that boundary really quickly and just said, hey, fuck off, don't do this.
Yeah.
Jumping into a top comment here, this is by OK Marion Berry 2103. Yeah, if the quote-unquote player's agency is being used to enact some kind of fucked up child sex slave fantasy, the player is going to be lucky to have breathing agency for very long. DM gave this trash too many chances not to be scum. My table would have taken him outside. Oh, pfft.
Would have taken him outside and thrown him a picnic.
Viewers, the comment is on screen. You can read it with your own eyes. And for those of you who listen to this via podcast style, go to YouTube. But it's there. You can read it. Oh, God.
I mean, I get the instinct.
The
I
rest
get the
of this
instinct.
imaginative comment.
Yeah, yes. Fill in the blank in the comments, guys. What do you think he would have taken him outside to do?
Let us know in the comments.
And while you're down there, like and subscribe and check out Shawn Banerjee. Oh, God. And then we have one more top comment here by Bamf1701 saying, player agency does not mean the character gets to do whatever they want without consequences.
Exactly.
And there is, in fact, that there are moral lines the player crosses that aren't acceptable to the rest of the group. The fact that Rogue walked was the trash taking itself out.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Well, shit.
I mean, that kind of conflict and what's the word? Where confrontation at the table can be
Yes.
very frightening. Can be very scary, like for real life, because you've left the game behind at that point, right?
Yeah, it makes everybody feel like unsafe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Rogue having walked himself out of the room was the best thing he did all day.
The ideal solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is actually all the time we have for this particular episode. But Shawn, please tell the lovely audience where they can find you, where they can fall in love with you, anything else that you want to leave off on.
Hey everyone, I'm Shawn Banerjee. You can find me. All of my links are through ShawnBanerjee.com. It's just a little card page. You can find everything on there. Blue Sky, StartPlaying.games, or any of my professional work. If you would like the Word Refinery to come help you publish something or whatever we do. Wow, that started strong and ended so poorly.
Do you want to do it again?
No,
It's
I don't edit myself.
Cut
I
the
edit
check.
you.
cut the check.
But yeah, and you can come fall in love with me in the Atlanta, Georgia greater area, I guess. I'm not going to give you my address, but wander around. There's only like
Don't worry, guys.
6.9
I'll give
million.
you the
Yeah, perfect.
Find him on the Beltline.
Yeah, there's only 6.9
Having
million people in the greater
having
metro area.
No, it
romantic-
can't be that hard.
romantic
Exactly.
picnic with that one guy.
Thank you guys so much
Yeah.
for tuning in. We will see you next week for more Rolling with Reddit. Bye bye for now.
Bye.